Y'all, remind me not to be in Spartanburg at 5 o'clock on a Friday. See, way up there, that's the line of traffic. We're going to be here for hours. I'm 100 miles from the house. We're averaging about 20 miles an hour. So, I might get home in, say, 5 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. Wrong place to be, wrong spot. Screwed this one up. Shouldn't have did this trip, but I got what I come after, and I got a little extra stuff, so I guess it was worth it. We'll show you when we get back to the shop with it, but I might not be getting into after dark tonight. I started on this journey at 1 o'clock. Left the shop, ran down here, got what I needed to, ran over to Parts House, got some more stuff, got back in the truck and tried to get back out of here before 5 o'clock. It's like 4:40, 4:30, 4:40, something like that. And just got caught up in it. So we'll be sitting in this traffic for a while. Now we're down to 10 miles an hour. So maybe it'll take me 10 hours to get home, but I was coming up here, I was running 80, 85, no problem, just flying. Going back, we're gonna run back at 10, 12 miles an hour. So, we'll see. But it says, my GPS said lane closure ahead, so whatever that means. We might get into a stop and go situation here. We got back up to 20, so we'll see what we can do. There's a school bus, or not a school bus, but a RV right behind me, and an 18-wheeler on the other side in the other lane. So we ain't got to worry about nobody trying to pass us, because they got the roadblock back there. We'll just creep along here about 20, 25 mile an hour, leave a gap in front of us, and see if we can start making 2.6 miles lane closure. This bus behind me is getting impatient, but we can't go nowhere, so I don't know what he's getting impatient about. We can stop here and wait for 10 minutes and still catch that truck up there in the next 2 miles. So we're just gonna go nice and easy, cruise on, see if we can get back to the house. We'll get up with you when we get there. Okay, y'all, 221 miles. 221 miles got us. We got us a transmission. And while I was down there, the guy said, by the way, our local parts place sells transmission fluid for $50 a case. So I said, well, I'm gonna need some transmission fluid for that, so I better go get me a case. Everywhere else I've been looking at, it's about 90 a case, 95 a case. So I went and got me a case of automatic transmission fluid while I got that. So, but while I was there, they had motor oil on sale for $46 a case. $46 a case. So I got me a couple cases of that. Also a brand new torque converter. So I got the 350 turbo that we was wanting. Got it. There it is. Brand new torque converter. Case of transmission fluid. A couple cases of oil. It's gonna go in this thing. And it only took me 200 miles to get it. Now, I would have got it locally here. I've been trying to get it locally. I tried to get it from the same guy that built the transmission for this truck, but the guy that built the transmission for this truck, it took him 5 times to get it right. I didn't want 5 times me underneath the thing pulling it in and out, so I did not go with him. I had another person build a transmission for this truck. I went to that guy, and he no longer does it. I had another guy build a transmission for that truck. I went to him, and he told me he was 2 months out, so this one's the one we got. So we're going to try it, and we'll see. And see what happens here. Hopefully later in this video, we will see if this thing works or not. I'm going to be highly ticked if it don't work. And I've got to load this thing up and haul it 200 miles back to the guy to have him fix it. That's the only downfall. But this guy's pretty damn confident about his work. He was sure it was good. He never stuttered. He never damn told me a fib. I called him on a Monday, told him I needed a transmission. He said he'd have it on a Friday. So he had it. I went in the shop. He had about 20 of them tore down there. I think it's going to be all right. So we'll see. And he was reasonable on it. I did not give him my core. They do not want. This is the one I pulled out of there. This is a 200 metric. They do not want a 200 metric at all. So I was looking around on Facebook trying to find me a 350, and I found this one. So I went and got this one. First glance, it looks just like a 350. I said, yep, that's what I want. That right there makes all the difference. That's a 350 lockup. So that means that the torque converter locks up. That means it ain't as strong as a 350. So that right there is a 350. It's a 350 turbo, but I did not want to use that transmission as a core. So I was trying to buy me another one. I couldn't find one, so I found that one, but I couldn't find what they wanted. So I just paid the core charge, got done with it. Got it, got out of there, and now it's over with. You ain't got to worry about that no more. It's basically how I'm looking at it. It's one-time payment there. You're done. That one transmission, I built it a long time ago, and I figured I'd keep it. So I'm gonna have that particular transmission built one day. I've had that transmission for probably 25 years. That was in that truck. So I'm gonna keep that transmission for a while. I don't want to lose it in another truck. I want to keep track of it. So I've got it right there. I know where it's at. But we're gonna do this one now. So let's see if we can get this thing out of here and get it around there and get it on the jack. Get it under there to where it needs to go and get a torque converter in there and get it jacked up and all that stuff. This ain't gonna be fun, but somebody's got to do it. Okay, y'all, I was able to sneak it right up underneath the frame rail there where the frame comes up. Now I got to get it back about 3 or 4 inches, 5 inches maybe. You can see the flywheel right there, and it needs to be up there. So I got to get it pulled back, and then I'm gonna get it where I can jack it up into place, and see what I can do with it from there. But you know, it's been like a week. I don't know where my bolts are, so I got to get it jockeyed around here and get it where I want it, and then see what I can do with it. And of course my cardboard is full of oil, so I'm trying to sit on one side of the cardboard where I don't get oil all over me and all that good stuff. So let me see if I can get it in there, and we'll get a video when I get it situated there. But I'm on that jack, so should be good. I did have to put a piece of wood underneath it. That's the only way I could take it out. It wouldn't jack up high enough to come out last time. So I put a piece of wood under there. So I made sure I put that same piece of wood back up under there. And we'll see what we can do here. Let me crawl up under there. Okay, y'all, I got it up in there. I've got one bolt started in the bottom of it. There. Let's see if I can shine some light on. So one bolt started in the bottom. I do not have that bolt started in the top. I'm gonna go around to the other side and get that bolt in. I did get my transmission mount put on it. Get that other bolt put in, and I'm gonna get my dipstick tube. I did not have the right dipstick tube. I figured that dipstick tube out of that other one would fit it, and it would not. So I went down and bought a Mr. Gasket dipstick. It's sitting over here. I'm gonna slide it up in there right now and get it locked in. Chrome one's the only thing I had, so I got it. I don't really like it, but that's all I had. So what we're gonna deal with, this side's way off, as you can tell there. It's off a good inch and a half. So this whole transmission is gonna have to come my way a lot and get lined up. See right there how much gap's in there. That needs to be flush. So we'll grab the back of this transmission, pull it around. and it's a little high on this side. So we'll turn that around. Let's see here. We're gonna drop it just a little bit there. That looks closer. Let's see if it won't quite go in yet. I got to play with it here and get it twisted around, then we'll get our lines hooked up and all that good stuff, and then we'll be ready. So let me see what I can do under here. It's gonna kind of in tight quarters here. Let me see if I can get it started. Hey y'all, the 200 had this kickdown cable on it. Okay. Which it hooks up the same. You hook that around a little rod and it locks it in place. And you're doing, put a bolt in it. It's got a couple O-rings on it. So I figured since I had this kickdown, I could save it and put it on this 350. Nope, that don't work like that. Get over here, I'll show you on these other ones. Same way with the where is my okay, you see the diameter of that. This is the 200 here. It goes right there. You see the diameter of that. It plugs right in, no problem. The 350 is a little one up in there. You see that? See that there? It's a lot smaller. Thing won't hook in, so gotta buy a new one. The dipstick, wherever the old dipstick is, dipstick. You see a dipstick? The dipstick's got to be right here. I just had it. What did I do with the dipstick? Surely it ain't in the back of my truck. Okay, the dipstick is too long. Way too long. It's hitting the bottom of the pan. Bottoming out. Just had that dipstick. What do I do with it? That's the side grinder I was looking for. So there's one dipstick. That's the new dipstick. Guess it's good I lost the old one and not the new one. Where the hell is the dipstick? It's got to be right here. I didn't go nowhere. I went from here to yonder and back over to these transmissions. Dipstick. So we had a dipstick for the 200. The dipstick won't fit in the 350. It'd go in there, but the bolt holes wouldn't line up to mount it with. I thought I put it back down here on this transmission. Back down here and look again. One more time, and then I'm gonna cut you off till I find it. Here we go. So here's the dipstick, okay? You put it in a 350. See, the angle ain't right. Ain't nowhere close. So that's because you're in front of this bulkhead. See, on a 200, you're behind that bulkhead. You're way back there. So it's got to be longer to get up to here. So, don't work. That goes to that one. It don't work in these. So I had to buy a new one. Well, I went and bought that. And I was sure my passing gear was going, my kick down cable, my passing gear, whatever you want to call it, was going to work. Ain't gonna work. So now I got to drive back 20 miles that way to get me a passing gear and then come back. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna go get that. I'll be back and we'll see. I would keep going, but if I keep going, you know, you got to do one thing at a time, one thing at a time, one thing at a time. Don't just skip over. Finish my project now, go to the next one, finish it, go to the next one. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get this piece, and then I'm gonna turn around and come back, put that piece in, then I'm gonna get the next piece, do that one, do the next piece, do that one. If I gotta keep burning the road up, I just gotta keep burning the road up, but that's how I'm gonna do it. Okay, y'all, up underneath the truck, you saw this drive shaft. This is the U-joint in it. I need a U-joint that is this size. This one's a lot bigger. So what I did, I took the caps off, and with the caps off, it would fit in the housing. So I went and got this Moog, whatever you want to call it, right there. So basically, this one, it's got two different caps on it. See that cap there versus that cap there? They're different. So this cap will go here. It's the right size. Let's see if I can do this the other way now. I'll put that cap there. See how it's a lot smaller? That's what I need. So they make a double-sided cap. I mean a double-sided U-joint, one big, one small. And that's the part number there for it. We'll put it in here and show you how it works here. But it's got inside clips for these and outside clips for those. So you can change any of them, flip them around to whatever you need. Like this one here, I got on the inside clips and I got this side on the outside clips. So it works, but we're gonna put this one in this back here so we can get in the rear end of the truck. So let me knock this thing out and I'll come back and show you what we did after the fact. Okay, y'all, I know you can't see, but that little bolt there I'm trying to tighten up. And I'm holding y'all on one side of the frame and I'm trying to look through a hole. So y'all probably can't see nothing, but the you gotta get that hole, you gotta get this bolt tightened up. And that holds the kick down cable in, detent cable. There's a bunch of different words for it. But basically what it does when you full throttle it, it pulls this side of the cable, pulls that out, and makes this drop down a gear. So it'll drop down a gear and take off, and that's called passing gear. So it's called kick down cable. Some people call it the detent cable. It's just a bunch of different things, but we got it in. We got it up there. I'm sitting Indian style. Up underneath here. Now I'm not. But I got it in. We still, I don't know if I got to take that off yet or if I can manipulate this a little bit to do what I want it to do. But I got to get that in there. So that's going to be next. Then I got to get this up in place. And then I got to get the transmission lines blowed out and get the transmission lines back on it. Then the drive shaft, and then I can fill it up with fluid and see if it actually moves. Get it off all these jacks and see if it'll move. So I'm going to try to get this thing manipulated the way I want it to get this pin here in this hole. So I'll put this up here where I went off to find that kick down cable, just to make sure, just in case it decided it wanted to, this jack wanted to bleed off, it wouldn't break my distributor up there. So I'll get back with you here in a minute. Okay, y'all, we got her up and going. She is moving on her own. She is running, driving, all that good stuff. So she's ready. Transmission's good in it. Got everything back in it. I did just pull the bed off of it. Got the bed on the forklift over here. exhaust is up next. So I'm gonna take the bed off. I'm gonna put it back here. I'm gonna stand it up, get it out of the way. It's a good way to pick one up if you got a forklift. Get down on that front rail, or you can grab it there, pick it up, hook it on both sides. I was gonna hook it here, but I didn't want to bend that, so I got down there and hooked it. And that rail's got it by the bottom part of the bed, so it's got a hold of it. I'm going to pull it back here a little bit, and then I'm going to flip it up, stand it straight up right here. So it'll be back out of the way. Then I'm going to take the truck and have exhaust put on it. So, y'all, if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up, film it, subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already, and we'll catch you on the next one. By the way, that thing took 11 quarts of transmission fluid. So 11 quarts on a bare 350 turbo. So right around 11 quarts. I'm gonna check it again in the morning. Make sure I don't need to add some more. I do got a little bit more there, but 11 quarts.